Hello and welcome to week 3 of Escape the Readathon. Reading vlog. So as of right now, it looks like we're still in the mood reading. We haven't gotten to a door yet. It is Sunday when I'm starting this. I'm about to go visit family and I just took a picture. So I have my makeup all done and stuff. But let me grab Hellbent really fast. So I think almost done with I have 30% left of this. I do have a hold from Libby right now, and I only have 2 days left of it, so hopefully I can finish that other 30% before Ballone goes out. But yeah, this is a long book. I think the audio is 15 hours for it, and I am enjoying like the main storyline, but I feel like at the beginning it got pulled into another storyline that is like a crime storyline from Alex's past stuff, and now we're kind of going back into her past stuff because something happens with the main stuff that connects, which I do like that connection, but I feel like it's dragging a bit. But yeah, I just am excited for them to get back to the main. I'm being very vague because this can spoil like Ninth House and Hellbent if I really go into detail about it. But yeah, it is tough to focus on the audiobook with this. I think even more because there is those fantasy magical elements in it where I have had to go back, especially at work yesterday, the chapters I did listen to, because I'm doing other stuff I'm supposed to be working, I guess, people talking to me. I'd have to go back and like re-listen to a chapter or something, but overall I am enjoying it. And these are the other books I want to get to this week. I can't believe we're like halfway through May already. Oh my gosh, the pressure is on. So I want to read Hot Pink Satanism. I just love this cover so much. I'm so excited to read this one. Lone Woman I want to get to. World War Z I want to get to. And Cackle by Rachel Harrison. And out of all of these, I only have the audio for World War Z, so we shall see. And then I'm actually starting a really long book. I think it's 700 pages on Audible for a secret not a secret TBR, but a secret vlog that will be out right after this vlog is out. So wish me luck. And I do have a stack of manga that I want to get to. I don't know if it's manga or manga. Probably manga that I want to get to. And yeah, so lots of reading going to happen this week. We're gonna get the full week of Escape the Readathon, and yeah, it's gonna be busy, it's gonna be awesome, and I'm gonna get back to reading. This house is straight out of Darcy Coates' book, but it's hard to see with all the trees in front of it. Okay, so it is the next day. I didn't get a ton of reading done yesterday because we were traveling a lot, but I got to go to a couple of really cool antique stores, and let me show you guys what I found. First of all, I found this hook, which if you guys know the cover of Don't Fear the Reaper, I'm very excited to have found this in an antique store for like really cheap. So yeah, I'm excited to do something with this. And then I found some books for really cheap at like a thrift store. I found None Shall Sleep by Ellie Marinee. I know this is a YA like murder mystery, I think, or like an FBI book. I know Michelle from Michelle's Library read this and she was like, it was very weird. It's a very weird premise, but I absolutely love this cover. It's really cool. And then Sadie by Courtney Summers. I found this is another YA book as well that I think Michelle from Michelle's Library liked as well. So both of these just reminded me of Michelle, so I just picked them up. And then A Slow Burning Fire by Paula Hawkins. I know this is a new Paula Hawkins book. I don't read a ton from Paula Hawkins. I have in the past, but I haven't recently. So yeah, I'm excited to read this. I feel like these are all like really tiny books. They're just like small. So yeah, I'm excited for all of these to get to one day. A little bit of a book haul there. But I did end up finishing Hellbent today with like hours left on my Libby loan. So I cut it very, very close with that. I enjoyed this. I did, but there was other aspects in this that I felt like dragged out to be longer that I didn't necessarily need. I think there's too many characters in this book, honestly. I'm waiting for the third one. I have a feeling some will get murked in it. But I did like where it ended. It ended on a huge cliffhanger like the first one. So, of course, I'm excited for the third one. But I think I'm leaning towards like a 3-star for this one because it did feel very long. But it also might be that I don't read a lot of fantasy anymore. Like definitely not as much as when I first read Ninth House. I was very much a fantasy reader when I read Ninth House a couple years ago, and now I'm not. And yeah, the horror stuff, I wish there was more gray action in this. The grays are the ghost. I wish there was like more ghosty stuff that happened in it. But yeah, I liked other aspects of it. Without giving too much away, I did enjoy it, but it just felt long to summon it. I'm summoning it up. Anyways, I have to start another vlog this week, so I'll be doing 2 vlogs. It's that secret vlog I was talking about. That vlog will actually be out before this one. But if this is like a totally chaotic vlog, like that one will probably be chaotic because I don't do more than one at a time because I can't keep it straight. But we did get to the door. We got to our 3rd door this morning. Of course, I'm late to the game as usual. And we got our 2 prompts. So we actually got a prompt that is kind of difficult. So I had to take a screenshot of it because it's like memorizing something. Read a book with the, a, of, and, or in the title, and that is really tough, honestly, because well, I went to submit Hellbent and I can't because it doesn't fit any of the or both the prompts, but it's okay. I can put it for mood reading when we get back to out of this room into the next room. So for this prompt, I think I'm going to do And Then I Woke Up. The audio is on script and it's super short, and I know Lexi read it and I think she enjoyed it, so I will be listening to that. And then for the second prompt is to read a book in a different format than your last read, and for that, since I did the audio for Hellbent, I will be doing an ebook. I'll be doing a NetGalley arc that I got of Mayfly by CJ Leedy. This is American Psycho meets Disney Princess. Apparently this Disney Princess has some American Psycho tendencies. So yeah, I'm excited to read this. I think this comes out later in June. So yeah, that is my plan for right now. These 2 books, 1 audio, 1 ebook, and I also will be reading this secret book. So I shall check in later when I finish one of the books for this vlog. So it is the next day. I am currently at work, just in my car, talking to you guys, doing this vlog clip. So I ended up finishing Mayfly last night by CJ Alidi. This is for the second prompt, which was like read a book. Was it the second prompt? Read a book with that you have in a different format than your last one. So this is an ebook because I had an arc of it. I feel like my brain is all scrambled because of this book now. What to say about this? It is slow. It is a slow burn book. It is not quite as slow as American Psycho though, but it definitely plays on a lot of those things that American Psycho, what happens in it. Like a lot of back and forth dialogue with people, a lot of inner dialogue with Maeve being a psycho, a psychopath, and there is like this commentary going on, I guess, about LA and like the people that live and work there aspiring to be actors and actresses, because she does work at Disneyland with a bunch of people that are aspiring to do that, and I thought that was really interesting. I think if I lived in LA or around LA, I would really like this book a lot more. But I mean, I really like this book still, but I feel like I'd get more out of it because there is a lot of talk about the Viper Room, the LA tar pits. There's a whole scene in there that is just, it's really great. There's some great imagery in this. There's some great kills in this. There's an audition inspired torture stuff happening in this book, and I was just like hooked. I could not stop reading last night. I think I read like 80 or so pages, and then I set it down, and then I was like, nope, I gotta read, and then I finished this morning. It was fantastic. It's really interesting what this author does with Maeve being a Disney princess and then also a psychopath. There's some really great scenes that come together with that, and there's some really violent, horrible scenes. So definitely look up trigger warnings for this book, but I will say nothing happens to a cat, so that's good. Lester the cat, good old Lester the cat, he's hanging in there, and yeah, so there's also like old Hollywood stuff happening in this. Maeve's she's taking care of her ailing grandma, who is an ex-Playboy star. Sorry if you hear the helicopter. There's a mini helicopter over here. Great. Okay, so I shut the door, so hopefully it won't be quite as loud, but you could probably still hear it. Anyways, so I'm thinking 5 stars for Mayfly because I can't stop thinking about it. I think it's really great, and I'm excited for people to experience it, I guess, because it is very dark and messed up. And then I woke up, I listened to that. This is a very quick listen. I enjoyed this, but it was just okay. I think I'm giving this a 3-star. It just didn't come together like I thought it was going to. This is a really interesting take on the pandemic. I think this is I think this book was written during the pandemic, don't get me wrong. This is like if the beginning of COVID, if it was a different type of pandemic. It was like people think there's zombies, but it's still like the misinformation and stuff happening. So I thought it was a really interesting take on a pandemic zombie style book, but it just didn't come together for me at the end. But it is a very short listen. It's very British. I feel like I might just be making that up because it had a British narrator. I don't know if it was actually, maybe it was it? Was this a British book? My brain is melting. I'm starting to melt in the car here. But yeah, so 5 stars for Mayfly as of right now, and 3 stars for And Then I Woke Up. I have kind of an idea of what I'm going to read next. I think I'm going to do the prompt next format, the different format. I'm going to switch to an audiobook. I have an audiobook for And Anna Dressed in Blood, which I think is a ghost book. So I definitely want to get to that. I'm going to try to get to it tonight. I am working with like one of my work besties, so I don't know how much reading I'm going to get done or anything. And just to say, I got told I usually look like Bellatrix from Harry Potter. Today is what she said. And you know what? I'm totally fine with that. And I'm fine with looking like Bellatrix, I guess. So I will check in later. I'm just sitting here laughing at myself in a hot car right now. But I will check in later. Okay, so I'm not sure if it is the next day since I talked to you or it's been one day, but it is the future now. And I did finish Anna Dressed in Blood on Sap's channel last night for Escape the Readathon sprints. I didn't stay super late on. I stayed like 2.5 hours or so. I just got really tired. But I really like this and I read it super quickly. So I did the audio for this for different formats since I went from Mayfly ebook to audiobook, and then I'm going to go to a physical book. Okay, this is my train of thought. If we're still at the door, which we were a couple hours ago, so this counts for prompt 1, and then I can switch over to World War Z audio as a different format. See, I'm using my brain. I'm using it. Anyways, I loved Anna and the Undressed. It was super violent, a lot of cursing in it. It is a YA book, but I thought that was hilarious. The kill scenes in this were like super bloody in detail. It was great. I was not expecting it. If you're fans of Buffy, you'll definitely like it. There's a lot of Buffy references in this as well, like Scooby-Doo van and stuff, Scooby Gang references with the van. And so we're following Cass, who lost his father about 10 years ago. His father hunted ghosts, and it's like one of those things that's like it's like transferred down, I guess, through family. So Kaz blames himself because he's like, I was coming into like my ghost hunting era or whatever era, and that's what got my dad killed. But of course it doesn't end up being that spoiler. But that is very Buffy-esque, I feel like the chosen one trope in this. But you get to know Anna and like her background and stuff. She's very scary at the beginning and then she's not, but there's something else going on. So I'm trying to be very vague here because it is kind of a short book, but I think this is part of a series. So yeah, I'm excited to read more of this series. It had a fun ending. I will say it did feel very YA towards the end because there's a lot of self-reflection happening, and like the inner dialogue I feel like went on a little too long, so I think I am giving it 4 stars. But overall, a very quick and fun read, and if you're fans of Buffy, you'll love it. And then I picked up Shadow of the Batgirl. I got this from my library. I got both of these from my local library. I'm borrowing them, and I'm only like 40-ish pages in. I just started when I got home from work, and so far I'm liking it. I don't know too much what's going on yet, but I just looked in the back and it looks like the main character of this is Cass as well. Which is funny because the main character of Anna Dressed in Blood is Cass, so lots of Casses going on here. And then after I read this, I'm going to move on to World War Z, listening to it, hopefully to unlock the door, but we shall see. So I'm going to try to read this, but I also have a lot of editing to do tonight, so wish me luck. I shall return.
They came for a vacation over in that room, and they're getting a lot more than they bargained for. This is some great footage. Jeez, don't just startle people and walk up on them like this, especially in a haunted house.
Okay, so it has been a full day since I last checked in. I'm currently on Kelsey's sprints for Escape the Readathon for what this vlog is. I know I'm wearing an old school April shirt today. What did I do yesterday? Oh, I watched some vlogs. I watched Kelsey's vlog, and it was so cute. She had like a camera. I'll try to put it in. It was really cute for film crew. And I watched this movie that I thought was a zombie movie. I think it is a zombie movie, but it's like really weird, by Lucio Fulci. City of the Dead, and there was like this hilarious scene of like a bunch of mealworms just being flown at people's faces, and I thought that was so funny. Like, could you imagine being that like the whole room, that whole house had to probably be destroyed afterwards. It was fantastic. But I think that's on Shudder currently, I think is where I saw it, because I watched Zombie over there too. But anyways, I finished a couple books. I finished World War Z by Max Brooks, and this was really boring. I had a tough time getting through it. I almost DNF'd it, but for the sake of the readathon, for the sake of the partiers, I stuck through and listened to the whole thing. It's really long. It's very boring. It's like a documentary style, and at first I was like really into it, and I was like, oh, okay, cool, and then it just kept going that way, and it was really repetitive. There was a lot of military army stuff in this that was just like super boring. Yeah, I think I'm leaning towards a 1.5 or 2 star for it. Very, very boring, and I still haven't seen the movie, but I'm not like jumping to see the movie after that. And then I ended up reading Shadow of the Batgirl for the prompt with the, yeah, I think it's the first prompt. And I had a lot of fun with this one. This is like a YA Batgirl, and it's a new Batgirl, so you get her backstory. Her dad is a hitman, or like a mafia style like killer, and she ends up running away. She was raised to kill, so she's killed like a bunch of people, and then she just doesn't want to kill anymore. And it's really, really cute, and it was fun, and I think I'm leaning towards like 4 star for it, and I'll definitely pick up the other volumes if I see it. And then I saw Chainsaw Man Volume 3, and I had to read it. I didn't know I liked this series this much, where I was like super excited to be back with these characters. And each volume has like a cliffhanger, so maybe that's why. But yeah, I'm on another cliffhanger, so hopefully I can find Volume 4 in the future. And then I started Cackle this morning. I'm like halfway through. I should be able to finish this on sprints tonight. So yeah, I read a lot of books this week. And I can't even tell you how many I read. I don't know, like 8 or 7. But I really am liking Cackle a lot. I think this is my favorite Rachel Harris book so far. I mean, I've only read Such Sharp Teeth and The Return, and both of those were 4 stars for me, but I think this one is a 5 star so far. It's very reminiscent of The Witches of Eastwick, but with just like a woman who's like a witch, you know. And yeah, I'm really liking it a lot. So that is where I'm at. I'm going to end this vlog, so hopefully it's not like forever long, and I shall start my last vlog. I guess will be in the last week next week for this readathon, and I can't believe it, and hopefully the partiers make it out of this house, because we have more partying to do, of course. But let me know what you've been reading this week, or how has your May reading gone so far, and I hope you guys have a great day. Bye!